All right, welcome to episode one, day one of my Going to Egypt vlog. I start off, of course, at LAX here in America. I have to go to the Tom Bradley International Terminal to get to where I got to be going. Now, they had a Hermes store in this terminal, and usually I'm in the Delta terminal going to Atlanta or somewhere domestic. So I was like, look at y'all fancy over here for the international travel. I'm not hating on it. Had to find my flight because I'm grossly unprepared always. Like, I'm not good at making itineraries and doing no checklist and blah, blah, blah to travel. I just get my bags and I go. Most of the time I pack like the day before, 2 days before. So yeah, I don't really be knowing what's going on. So I find my flight. Now it's time to head over there. Now I already ate. It's in the evening. Like you saw in there, it's like 6:40 something. My flight leaves at 8 p.m. So I tried to make sure I ate before I got there and was like all settled with stomach and everything, because this is a 16 plus hour flight. So if you know anything about traveling long flights, you do not want to have like fresh food on the stomach. That's a recipe for disaster. So yeah, I'm going down, and this was a far ass walk, let me tell you. But then the guy came and swooped us up in this cart, and it was that whole family that was just in front of me on the escalator with that Louis Vuitton bag. So I knew that they did not want my black ass on their cart. But it is what it is, girls. I don't want to walk. Y'all don't want to walk. Here we are. We're going to Saudi. This is my plane. We're going to Jeddah, which is, I guess, the capital or the main place for Saudi. I got both my boarding passes because they neglected to give me digital boarding pass. Here I am on the plane, just miserable, girl. Not ready for it. But the worst part of the traveling is always the flight. Oh, they started praying. They prayed. And look at this man. Like, you won't really be able to hear it, but he's talking about Allah, different things. This is clearly a Muslim prayer because this is a Muslim airline, but I never experienced praying on the flight. So I'm going to shut up real quick, and if any of y'all, like, it has captions. So yeah, like, you get the gist. It was nothing scary. It was nothing, xenophobic about it. It just took me aback a little bit. I did not expect them to pray. They did also have a prayer room area on the plane that was very, very big. Like, the size of, I want to say, 3 or 4 rows of seating in the back of the plane for people to pray. And I did ask that I go in there and stretch, like, towards the 10th, 11th hour of the flight. And the flight attendant was like, yeah, sure. But there was always somebody back there praying. So it is taken very seriously. Not a joke. And I grew up religious, so I'm not mad at them praying on the plane. Cold as all get out, though. Oh, and then the food. So the only thing I really ate was, like, the bread, the fruit, and then I would ask for tea because I don't like yogurt. Very hesitant about the fruit, but I was hungry. And then every time they brought something out in these foil wrap packages, it was never something appetizing to me. Like, I don't want to be involved. Qatar Airways had much, much, much better food. But yeah, like, I don't even need to open that all the way to know I'm not eating that. Still in the plane, stressed, girl, ready to go, ready to get out. Finally, we arrive in Jeddah. Everybody's head is wrapped in Saudi. If you don't know why, Google it. I don't got time to explain. Their airport is very, very fancy. Like, futuristic in a way. You can tell it's pretty new and modern. And you get off and, like, the culture change begins. But surprisingly, everywhere you go has a lot of American brands, American type stores. I feel like our culture, look at the Snickers. Our culture is our main export. Everybody wants to, like, partake in American goods, listen to our music, watch the shows, but, like, everything else about our culture, they kind of despise in a way because we are, like, wild and uncouth. Everybody assumes, like, oh, you're from America, it's so wild. But they have, like, reality shows and rom-coms and stuff they were advertising. There was Happy Valentine's Day signs. Oh, I loved this. I guess it was, like, the 75th year of something going on in Saudi Arabia. So they had all of this stuff, like Leper Week and our story posted throughout the airport. I thought that was very cool. Oh, it's Saudi Founding Day. Boom. So here goes me boarding my flight to Cairo. Time to get to the pyramids, ladies. We've been here too long. I wanted to show the outside, but then I realized because of the glare, you can't really see anything. Also, I was told at length that people in the Arab world do not like being recorded, do not like cameras being out. So I left all of my, like, usual vlogging material at home. That man down at the bottom of the stairs was supposed to pick me up, but I had no idea. He had no sign, as you can see. So I walked right past him and paid for a taxi. But anyways, they don't want to be recorded. They don't like that. So I made sure to limit my action. I just arrived in Egypt. Like I said, that man was there to pick me up. He had no sign. How was I supposed to know? I came to exchange my money immediately because, again, there was a lot of like scam propaganda. They're going to overcharge you propaganda. And I was just like, if I'm dealing with them in their currency, it'll lessen that effect and it'll be easier for me to get around and like I need to. I like to be under the radar, incognito as possible. People already kind of know you're American on sight by how you dress and how you're carrying yourself. So, yeah, like try to limit the ability to get into scam like situations as much as possible by staying out the way and getting these people's currency. So that's what I'm doing here. I felt like I had a grip. They always make you fill out a bunch of forms and stuff like who you are, where you work, whatever, whatever. I guess that's for their governmental money purposes. I don't really know, girl. But I fill it out. I think I gave him like $200 American or like two and change. And I got a stack. Like I thought I was about to be balling out in Egypt, but I mean, kind of. Like, it wasn't expensive. I'm not even going to lie to you. It was not expensive. I stayed for a whole week. The hotel was like $300. And yeah, look at all that money I got. I felt lit. And then I had to pay for my visa, which was cheap. So the Egyptian visa was like $10, but in Tanzania, they charged me, I think, 130 something. So definitely Egypt for the win when it comes to that. Oh, look at that. I made it. And look at this over here. This is tight. Boom. You see that? So tight. So, of course, I could have went anywhere in the world to celebrate my 30th birthday, but I really, really love Egypt and just everything I've learned about it since I was a kid. If you watch That's Hot Pod with Christian and I, you know when I was a kid, I wanted to be an Egyptologist until I realized that was like a rich white person career. So, yeah, dealt with my disappointment growing up, but I had to come in person to see all of the antiquities. Like when it comes to that sort of thing, I am a really intense high level of nerd. Like it just gets me going. It makes me happy, puts me different. This was my first Instagram post when I landed, like let the people know I made it. But I am intense when it comes to it. In Egypt celebrating Valentine's Day, I thought that was so cute. I was stoked. And here's my dad.
Not your boyfriend? Are you sure?
What's up, Dad?
Birthday girl, what's up?
Madonna, the tour guide.
Tour operator.
Yes, come and see her at the airport, right over there at that thing.
There?
Yes. No, I'm like, that's your thing. What is it called?
From Ministry of Tourism, this tourist
There you
service.
go. All right. So although Madonna was very nice and helped me find my dad, the right terminal, all that, because I wouldn't have never, it was a scam, basically. Like we paid $40 for this ride from the hotel when really the Uber was $6. And she was like, oh, no, you can't take Uber. No, don't take a cab. Like just feeding into the propaganda like that I should be scared. But once I got there, after like a day, it was very clear that that was not like the truth at all. You can pretty much get by with the locals as long as you have a solid head on your shoulders and know exactly where you want to go, what you want to do. Also, Google Maps works out there. So I was in an Uber, always like tracking my location, making sure I was going to the right place. There's really nothing to be afraid of. They're regular, normal people just trying to make a living. You're an American, so you seem like an opportunity. Everybody's going to take advantage of that. They charged me $80 per person or something for a one-day tour when I got a whole tour of another city for like $40. My dad and I, including our ride. So don't really listen to it. Like find a local, barter with them. People in the Arab world love to barter. They live for it. This is me on the ride to the hotel, just hanging out, talking to my dad. But yes, they live to barter. So just go back and forth until you can't handle it no more, till you get tired. And you will assure yourself to get the best deal available to you, because there's an American price and there's an Egyptian price. And as a non-Egyptian, you will never get the Egyptian price. So just deal with that, handle it, and roll on with your day. It's still super duper cheap to do basically everything out here. Also, the tour guide thing, I want to expel the need for that, because every single museum charges you to get in and they charge you for a car when you come with it. So it's like the tour companies charge you a price and then you end up paying for everything anyway. So there's really no reason to deal with it. I was shocked at the mixture of urban decay with like new buildings. It was very interesting to me. And they have a giant, extreme amount of stray dogs. Don't be alarmed though. They're very like calm. They don't bother you at all. But just know that they're everywhere, period. And there's also a mix of animals like horse-drawn carriages, camels, donkeys on the street with regular run-of-the-mill cars on the freeway. The pedestrian situation, not American at all. There is no crosswalk available in Egypt anywhere. So you want to get across that street, you got to get your muscle up and just do it. You saw those camels. Like, it's lit when it comes to animals being on the street. And like that alley across the street is where our hotel is. We stayed there the whole entire week. We could have changed hotels. My dad wanted to, because my dad is a flexer. He likes to blow money. I, on the other hand, am cheap. So I was like, we're here. It's safe. They give us free breakfast, 9 Pyramid View. The people were super irritating at the front desk. We'll talk about that in another episode. But the view was bomb from upstairs. Like, it was just the ideal place to be, centrally located. Here I am living my dream. So why waste money and leave? It was about $54 a night. The rooftop is really just the peak of it. You see my dad showing his age with his, lack of technological use. And then he's just a clown. He's a hilarious person. You'll see a lot of reels of him talking to me. We had breakfast at the pyramids every day. Just magical. And this is the fruit market, like, at night. So we were going to get snacks because I learned in Tanzania you do not eat American snacks, fruits, whatever. I like Oreos and stuff in foreign country, just eat fruit. So that's what I did. I also got some shisha, which I thought was hookah, but shisha is like the bootleg turned down version of hookah, so do not waste your money. If you are a hookah girl or guy like the Atlanta people, this ain't that. Don't waste your money. My dad has this giant iPad everywhere, doing the thing, living it up. Why not? Let me see your shoes. He's got the Dior's on.
I'm coming.
Yeah, boom.
So choose.
Yeah. What's your name, Chef?
Chef Mahmoud.
Chef Mahmoud.
Yes.
Thank you for this food.
Right.
Oh, what do you got?
Yeah,
Oh,
my
shrimp?
body's over here looking fantastic. Thank you, Chef.
Chef Mahmoud was really the man for the trip, and you can do the conversion on this. The food was super cheap. Also, I'll post the boys' Instagram that had the shoes.